2 separate trials, 2 crushing verdicts. Her lawyers try to play the oops accidental card in court, a strategic move to minimize the fallout. We'll give you a Hermès bag. She called it a career accident. She's also requesting the return of her diamond-studded jewelry, which includes over 20 carats. The $4.5 billion funneled overseas had nothing to do with SCB. You cannot make this shit up. Is this a last-ditch attempt to rewrite her fate? The situation will get even crazier. My opinion is this. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most outrageous sagas in the Vietnam financial landscape. Imagine a tycoon, Ms. Trung My Lang, convicted not once, but twice with a looming death sentence over her head. Now, she's back in court asking for the return of her assets and promising to repay all the victims. Sounds noble, right? But is this a desperate ploy to escape the noose? Stay tuned as we bring you the mind-bending details of this financial soap opera, exposing Ms. Trung My Lang's tangled web of lies and deceits, and her brazen attempt to get away with a lighter sentence. So let's get started. Hello, my name is Ken Duong, international business and real estate attorney with over 15 years of experience helping foreigners invest into the real estate market in Vietnam. And in order to invest, you need to know what the climate is. And that's exactly what we're talking about today in one of the biggest financial scandals to hit Vietnam. On October 17th, the People's Court of Ho Chi Minh City handed down another life sentence for Ms. Trung My Lang on top of her death sentence already. Yes, you heard that right. 2 separate trials, 2 crushing verdicts. But why would you add on a life sentence on top of a death sentence? Is this new trial just a legal formality? Or is Ms. Trung My Lang trying to avoid the inevitable? After all, if she can show remorse by paying back the bondholders that she ripped off, then maybe she'll get some leniency. But let's not kid ourselves. Ms. Trung My Lang is not giving back her own assets. Oh no. These are the assets that she amassed through fraudulent bonds, fraudulent cross-border transactions, and laundering of money. Now she's parading her generosity as charity. But let's peel back the layers and find out what is going on behind this facade of redemption. If you're not up to date the entire story, we made an entire playlist, so check that out so you can get up to date, as this is episode number 6. In case you missed it, Ms. Trung My Lang orchestrated one of the largest financial fraud schemes in Vietnam's history by using Saigon Commercial Bank and her conglomerate Vang Tân Phac. The scheme? A $1.2 billion issuance of fraudulent bonds that cheated 35,800 investors, mostly deposits into SCB, of all their savings. Her lawyers tried to play the oops accidental card in court, but the court was not buying it because evidence showed that she had all the intentions to defraud the investors. Aside from the issuance of fake bonds, she also laundered $187.7 million out of the country via illegal cross borders. On top of that, she laundered $4.5 billion abroad, leaving a financial devastation in her wake. Trung My Lang's defense? She called it a career accident. I kid you not, her words in court. She also promised to repay all the victims. Let's not pretend like this is an act of heartfelt redemption. Every move screams of self-preservation. So what are these assets that she is generously offering? Let's break down these assets, and trust me, these are not ordinary real estate assets. The Amigo project in District 1 sits smack in the heart of Ho Chi Minh City. This 11,000 square meter development is pure gold, surrounded by bustling restaurants and landmarks. But don't let the flashy location fool you. Land clearance for this project has dragged on for over 30 years. She claims that it's almost ready, but given her history, should we even trust her? Then there's a Vietcombank Bondi Ben Thanh building, one of the city's tallest skyscrapers. She holds an 18% stake here, which she bought in 2011. She's now selling it to Vietcombank for $37 million to repay victims. Noble or a strategic move to minimize the fallout? Let's talk about the 6A residential project, one of Ms. Trung My Lang's prized assets in Binh Dinh district. The project is massive, but has been stuck in development limbo for 20 years. And here's a kicker. She turned down offers between $1.23 billion and $1.64 billion in the past. all because the paperwork was incomplete. Now, suddenly, she's willing to let it go for a mere $820 million. Suspicious? Absolutely. And there's another twist. An anonymous investor from the US promised to step in and manage the property and pay back all the victims. So if the paperwork is still incomplete after 20 years, why would you think that it can be completed now? Sounds like another strategic move by Miss Lang. Next up, the Spirit of Saigon, expected to be the crown jewel of Ho Chi Minh City. Rising across from the iconic Bentan Market, this ambitious hotel office complex started with a vision of grandeur and a price tag of $500 million. But she took it to the next level in 2018 by acquiring shares from Bitexo Group for a jaw-dropping $900 million. She even prepaid over 70% of the amount. But like many of her projects, the Spirit of Saigon has faced endless delays and many changes in ownership. What was hoped to be a towering landmark in the middle of Saigon is stuck in limbo, much like Lang herself. The court has frozen her stake in the project, locking down $162 million of its value. Now, let's not forget the Nhà Rồng Khánh Hội complex, which she owns a whopping 84.8% stake, valued at $187.78 million. She stated that is purely family money, nothing related to SCB. But can we really take her word for it? But before we dive into the rest of the story, 80% of you are not subscribed to our channel. But what are you waiting for? A personal invitation from Miss Jung Mi Lang? Hit that subscribe button to get all the latest information of this scandal. Also, if you hit the subscribe button, we'll give you a Hermès bag. Just kidding, we probably can't even afford that. But we definitely appreciate all of you subscribers for supporting our channel. So let's dive back into the story. Speaking of Hermès bags, Jung Mi Lang is requesting the return of 2 albino crocodile bags that was confiscated during the investigation. These aren't just ordinary bags, these are sentimental keepsakes that she wants to keep in the family. But the absurdity doesn't stop there. She's also requesting the return of her diamond-studded jewelry, which includes over 20 carats of earrings and rings, and also her laptop that has over 50 years of photos and memories. Priorities. Am I right? Her relatives are joining the chorus of demands too. Her sister-in-law, Ngo Thanh is requesting the return of her savings account of $406,000 US for her husband's medical expenses. Meanwhile, Jung Mi Lang's niece is requesting the return of the phone and laptop, which contains photos and memories that are irreplaceable. But the court isn't falling for the theatrics. The court has ordered the frozen of her assets, including hundreds of properties and millions in shares, in order to compensate the victims. Ms. Jung Mi Lang insists that the $4.5 billion funneled overseas had nothing to do with SCB. According to her, she was only repaying loans to overseas friends, but those friends requested that it go through SCB, which raised quite a few eyebrows. The courtroom drama took an even wilder turn. Former SCB CEO Jung Kan Wang testified that the monies were embezzled from the bank. He assisted Ms. Jung Mi Lang to transfer $2.8 billion abroad. His predecessor, Vo Tăng Hoàng Vang, added to the confusion by stating he did not know the transfers were illegal. You cannot make this up. So here we are. Ms. Jung Mi Lang is facing a death sentence and a life sentence, scrambling to sell her empire to pay off all her debts. But the real question is, will she be able to get enough money to pay back all the victims? Or is this a last-ditch attempt to rewrite her fate? Having been a lawyer for 15 years and also in Vietnam for 10 years, following this case throughout the different 5-6 episodes and in the news, my opinion is this: it will be extremely difficult for her to repay the billions and billions of dollars to the victims. 35,800 victims, that's a lot of people. Because she cannot sell her assets, most of the assets were overvalued of double or triple the price, and she borrowed loans against it. So therefore, it will be very difficult to find the right amount of money to pay back. That's assuming she can sell it, that it will be handled properly, and the victims will get their money back. So I truly believe that she will get the death penalty. However, it might be too cruel and unusual punishment. Therefore, she'll just only have a life sentence in prison, maybe about 20 or 30 more years, if she can live that long. So that's my legal opinion. And of course, our video also states all the other facts, details, and information as well. One thing is for sure, Vietnam's biggest financial fraud is far from over. Stay tuned because this trial and situation will get even crazier. But if you want to stay updated to the best information and the most updated information about this trial, hit that subscribe button. And as always, on behalf of Duong Global, my name is Ken Duong. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you like our Facebook page and all our social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment below about your thoughts on this particular trial. And of course, click on the bell for notifications. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.